Little Patriots Kids Korner would not be possible without the support of our awesome partners. Thank you for supporting your local USO outdoor adventure team.
Hey everybody, my name is Michael and I'm the program director for the outdoor adventure team, which is part of the USO of Hampton Roads in Central Virginia. So glad to spend a couple seconds with you as we're all cramped inside and everybody's hanging out together all this time, and give you another opportunity to do something very easy as a family to cook and have some fun together. So when we're not outside having fun as a family or the outdoor adventure team, this family chooses to be in this kitchen doing all kinds of fun stuff. And one of the favorite things that we put together is called fresh
Ravioli.
Ravioli, or how is it really pronounced?
Ravioli.
Ravioli. So ravioli is very simple to make. It's pasta. We lived in Italy for a couple of years, so we learned how to do this, and it's super, super fun. So we have a couple things out here today. We have a bowl of sugar, which we'll use to activate the yeast. We actually have 3 packages of this yeast. It's called an active dry yeast.
And some hot water, what just came out of the oven.
That's right, out of the microwave. So we warmed the water in the microwave, so we have 3/4 of a cup of warm water also. And so my sous chef here, who is also my 5th child, and her name is Amelia, she's gonna help us cook. And you like to cook too, don't you? Awesome.
With
All right.
my little oven.
With your little oven. Okay, so let's start. And so what Amelia's gonna do first is she's gonna grab the active dry yeast and she's gonna pour it right here into the container. Good, go ahead, you can grab the next one. Go ahead. Good job. Good job. Okay, and the last one. Okay, and the next thing that Amelia is going to do is she's going to actually add 3 teaspoons of sugar to this. And this is going to be really fun to watch. This is kind of like chemistry, because when the sugar interacts with the water and the dry yeast, what you're going to see is you're going to start seeing it actually start to cook. So go ahead and dump it. That's 1. 2 and 3. Okay, and that's perfect. And if you guys spill something a little bit, it's okay. But now Amelia's going to take the whisk and she's going to slowly mix it up. And what you're going to get to see is actually it's starting to cook. So get some good circles in there, mix it all up, and you guys will see it's starting to bubble here. And what that's actually doing is it's actually starting to cook. So right now it's mixed up. Let me grab a little bit more. There you go. Just mix it up nice and good, and what we're going to see is actually it start to bubble and it's going to actually start to cook. And so what that does is it's going to actually activate inside the flour when we get to the next step that we're going to show you, and this is going to help allow it to mix properly and then start to rise, which is the activation part of the yeast. So stand by for the next segment. We've got a couple of minutes so that this can finish cooking, and then we'll be right back. Hey everybody, it's Michael back here again with my sous chef Amelia, and we're super excited for the second phase. So in the first phase of making fresh ravioli, we talked a little bit about the sugar and the warm water and the yeast, the active dry yeast, and how it was going to interact. So if you come on over here real quick, you can see that it's interacted here. You can see 2 different colors here. It kind of looks like chocolate milk on the bottom and a little bit of foam on the top, and that's because it's actually starting to cook. So we also have all-purpose flour here. Okay, that's what we use as well. We have a mixer. Please don't ever use a mixer or any of these devices in the kitchen without your parents' permission or without them being there with you, okay? So we have a KitchenAid mixer, and then we have the most amazing stuff in the world, extra virgin olive oil, which helps make our dough perfect. So you ready, Amelia?
Yep.
Okay, good. So if you notice, Amelia's wearing an apron, and there's a reason for that. Whenever you're cooking or making cookies or anything with flour, it gets a little bit messy. So you start touching stuff and then you have stuff everywhere. So always wearing an apron is a great idea. So think about that as you guys get going. But are you ready to do this?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're going to do, Amelia, is you're going to take 6 cups out of that and dump it right here into the mixer. Doesn't have to be perfect. And that's one of the neatest things about making fresh pasta and ravioli is you don't have to have a perfect measurement on it. If you have a little too much or a little too little, it's still going to work out and it's still going to be good. Something we learned from Italians while we were there. Okay, so that's number 2. Keep going. And then 3 and 4, 5,
One more.
And one more. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just add a little bit more because we have it pretty close to being measured. Okay, so if you take a look here in the mixing bowl, you can see all of our flour right here. If you want to take a look in the mixing bowl, you can see the flour. It's all ready. So now Amelia is going to go ahead and pour the yeast right into it. So go ahead, you can pick it up and pour it right here into the flour. You got it? Good job. And make sure you get it all in there. And that's great. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close the mixer down. Okay? Going to lock it in place, which is really important with mixing mixers, especially as the dough develops, because it'll start trying to jump. So we lock it in place, and what we're going to do is on a really low setting right here, we're going to have it going, and then we're going to take the greatest stuff ever created, extra virgin olive oil, like I mentioned earlier, and we're going to add it. And if you notice, I'm not really doing any precise measuring. And the reason why is, for one, I've done this enough times, but if you have a little too much olive oil in it or a little too little, it actually is still going to turn out pretty darn great. So we're mixing this up right now. And what we'll do is we'll show you what it looks like in a couple minutes. All right? And right here, you can see it mixing, and you can see some of the white dust still there from the flour and the nice kind of caramel or khaki color of the dough coming together. Then when it's almost close to being fully blended, start turning the speed up a little bit, and we're going to let this run for about another 3 minutes. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far. I want to give a reach out to some of our sponsors too. I want to say thank you to T-Mobile. I want to say thank you to USAA. I want to say thank you to Harris Teeter, to ROX, to Newport News Shipbuilding. We really appreciate your guys' constant support with us and are grateful for all of that. So part 3 is cool. We've been mixing actually for about 5 minutes. And then what I utilize is a little glass bowl. And one of the things that I love to do, because this dough that you're about to see, when we put it with close to the heat, it's going to grow and it's going to rise up. And one of the things it's going to do is going to be super sticky. You'll see as soon as I take it out of this container how sticky it is, and Amelia will get a chance to help a little bit too. But what we're going to do is lift it up, and if you can take a look in here now, that's what it looks like as a finished product. And like I said, it's going to be sticky. So all right, guys, so we have our dough all ready to go into the oven. So a lot of ovens are different, but what you want to do is warm up your oven to the lowest setting. My lowest setting on this one is 170 degrees. It's a little bit different based on it, but you just want to get it nice and warm on the inside. And then what we want to do just before we put the dough in there is cover it with some saran wrap. Again, kids, let mom and dad help you with this, okay? And all we want to do is have it loosely covered, not tight like you would normally do, because what's going to happen is all this is going to rise up. And really what we just want is for it to be able to kind of rise up but not spill all over the place. So again, kids, don't grab the oven. You know, let your parents do this, but it's cool. So it's been already warmed up. You don't close the oven completely. Leave it on that low setting, and then just keep it cracked like that, because all it needs to be is warm, and in about 30 minutes to 45 minutes you're going to see a really cool thing. It's almost going to look like a cupcake because it's going to be rosing up, and then we'll be ready to take it out. And then basically all we do is we cool it. And the way you make incredible pizza dough or raviolis or pasta is you don't eat it as soon as it's done. You can technically do that, but what makes it even more magical is when you sit it overnight in the refrigerator and then you take it out and work it the next day. Hey everybody, it's Michael with the Outdoor Adventure Team again, and I'm here back again with my sous chef, Amelia, and she's done this great entrepreneurial thing, which is she's outsourced some help from her brother Jace. So we're getting ready. So we've already made the dough. You guys saw that process. You saw it expand, which was really cool, right? There's some pictures in there, kind of a muffin topping. So what it looked like at the end, basically, we chilled it overnight, which is great and important to do. So this is what it looks like. So it's falling back in a little bit, and that's completely okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to roll out and make the first amount of fresh pasta pasta for the raviolis. Are we excited, guys?
Yeah!
Yeah! So we're gonna do this. They've already washed their hands, everything's clean, and we're ready to move on to the next thing. So there's a couple things that they have here. They have this marble. You don't need marble, it's just something that we have because we lived in Italy, so bought this from Carrara, a very famous place. But you can just use a tabletop. Just make sure it's nice and clean first before you get rocking and rolling. They have a little pile of flour, same flour that we actually made the pasta with. Then they have these, what are these called, guys? Rollers or rolling pins, right? So Amelia obviously has, like, she's a Viking, so she has a really huge one. You know, but there's all kinds of different rollers out there. These have neat little handles, and these are just flat sticks. And so then we have the dough. And so what you guys are both going to do right now is go ahead and grab you a scoop full of the fresh pasta. So you can either grab it by your hands or you can use the spoon. This is really exciting. And we talked about in the last segment that it's a little sticky, the dough. So that's why they actually have the flour here. So you're going to grab a big old handful of it. And Amelia, I'm just going to help you real quick. So you have it. Here's your ball. And then what they're going to do is they're going to put it right in the flour right away. And now what we're going to do, coat it all. You can roll it almost like you're making a snowman, or you can just put it on the top. And all the flour is going to do is keep it from sticking to your fingers. So you guys see I've got some sticking on me right now, and that's fine. So the flour is going to help that process out. So once they have it completely coated, what we're going to do is we're going to roll it out. So that's the next thing. So stand by. Here's the next part. So they've made their little ball. They've coated it with flour. And so what they're getting ready to do right now is flatten it out. So they grab their hand and they just push down on it as hard as they can. It makes it look like a little pancake, which is kind of cool. And what do we do, guys, if it gets sticky? Show them, Amelia. What do? Put a little bit more flour on there, right? Rub it around. Right, that'll take the stickiness off, flip it over. There you go, another little dink. Boop, boop, good. Now you guys grab your rollers, right? And now they're gonna roll it out, because making pasta, it's important to roll it out nice and flat. And this is a lot of fun. They're smiling from ear to ear, which is awesome to see, right, Amelia? You're smiling, and Jason's laughing like always. We're gonna roll it out nice and flat. Keep rolling. You guys are doing a great job. You see Jason's over there. That's nice, Jace. Perfect job. Next up, we're going to put the filling down. Okay, everybody, so we're super excited. We got our dough rolled out, and it's not sticking to the board, which is important. And so now what we're going to do is we have these really cool little devices here. These are made specifically for making ravioli. It gives you the size and the print, and it'll actually help join it. But you don't have to have those. You can actually just mark your area and make the raviolis without them. But so what they're going to do right now is they're going to basically just mark where they're going to put the filling. And so they're pushing it down lightly, and if you see when you lift it up, now you know exactly where the ravioli filling is. And again, you can do this with a spoon. You can do this with just, you know, a stick. And basically all you're doing is letting yourself know where you're going to put the filling. So again, if I didn't have that device, I could basically just draw on this, and then I would know exactly where my space is. So our filling is super easy and simple. This is actually turkey, mozzarella cheese, a little bit of oregano, and a little bit of tomato sauce. So Amelia, go ahead and grab a spoonful, and you're going to put it right there in the middle of that circle. And you can decide if you want a big ravioli, a little ravioli. That's up for you guys to decide at home. And just put it right in the middle of that circle there, and that's great. And then Jace gets to do the same. All right, so now we're ready for the final step, and that's covering up the ravioli. So there's a couple different ways that you could do it. You could have rolled out 2 separate pieces of dough, and then you just lay it over the top. But like Amelia's here, you can see it's nice and wide. So Amelia, you're gonna just fold over the top of it. Fold it over the ravioli. It'll stretch a little bit. That's right, just lay it down nice and neat. Nope, now grab that tool again and put it over the top. And she's gonna push down on the edges. And what that's going to do, yep, go ahead and push straight down all the way to the bottom. And then twist it back and forth, left and right, real quick, as hard as you can. Keep your weight on it, push down, and it's going to separate the ravioli out. And now you can slide it out the way. So here we have the first ravioli. And this one got a little open on the bottom. That's all right, we'll fix that. But that's how you make a ravioli. And again, you can do it just like Jace did. That's a perfect ravioli, buddy. Good job. And that guy is ready to go in the water. And so we got our water boiling right here. So the next thing, and again, kids, do not play around with the stoves. Do not do any of this without your parents' talk. But we're going to salt the water and we're going to put a ravioli in it. Okay, so what do you have on the plate there?
I have the things what we made.
What are they called?
They are made ravioli.
Ravioli. And which one is yours, Amelia?
This one's mine.
And which one is yours, Jace?
That's mine.
So Amelia's got a super big one, and then Jace has a smaller one, and that's okay. So we have our water boiling, and again, this is for parents to do, not kids. What you want to do is you want to salt the water really good. Okay, that's really important for pasta. Okay, so after that's there, what we're going to do is we're going to add the raviolis in there, and they're going to cook for about 3 minutes. All right, so the raviolis have been cooking. The only thing that we did was we flipped them over a couple times so that it cooks evenly on both sides. So you can see Amelia's is the bigger one, and we're using a slotted spoon right now, and that allows the water to go out when we pull it out. So we have this. We're gonna set it up on this table right here with our Bon Appetit plates that we got in Italy.
I want to put 2 plates back.
Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to design it up a little bit. This is called garde manger. We're going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on one. Get a handful of cheese, because Jace likes cheese. But they're getting ready to try their raviolis that they made, so Amelia's got butter and cheese on hers now. Jace already ate the other one, but this is actually technically round 2. But they're getting ready to chomp in and go for it. So go ahead, guys, dig in. You know, again, we filled ours with turkey, with oregano, with mozzarella cheese, and yeah, and that was it. But you can fill it with anything. You can fill it with hamburger meat. You can fill it with just cheese. You can get really crazy and do spinach. Go ahead, cut it up and eat it. Let's go. And yes, Jace, what did you think? So good. So good. Awesome. Thank you for joining us for this cooking segment, and we hope you enjoyed it. Again, when you're in the kitchen, be safe. Ask your parents for their help, okay? And no matter what, stay together, play together, have fun together, cook together. This is Michael and Amelia and Jay signing off. Thank you guys for being part of this with us this week, and hope you guys have a great day.